It was 1984. I was 15 years old and was alone at my older sister's house. It was late morning. I had just got out of the shower and was still wrapped in a towel when I heard a noise outside. I looked out a window and watched a complete stranger tying the doorknob of the main entrance to the railing of the deck with a rope I used to walk the dog with. He then leaned a mop that was on the deck against the door. I called my sister at work, told her what happened and that I was scared, and she told me to get the heck out of the house. So I got dressed and out of the house through a different door and hid in the bushes until police arrived. The house was somewhat remote with no close neighbors. And when the police finally did arrive, they didn't find anything. They didn't find any signs of forced entry or any clues as to who this guy was or why he was doing this, because we couldn't see him from any other windows in the house. My sister and I both assumed that he had, tried the door, saw that it was locked and left. But here's the thing, and this is the part that really creeps me out to this day. When the police finally did find him, because they did find him and arrest him, they asked us if we wanted to press charges, and we said, of course. But the thing that really freaked us out was when they came back with our would-be intruder, and they brought him into the station. My sister and I both got a good look at him and realized we had absolutely no idea who this guy was. We couldn't place his face. We couldn't think of any reason why somebody would do this, and then, he, of course, had an explanation as to why he did this. He said that he was a traveling salesman, and he had stopped at the house because he needed to use the phone, and he had seen the rotary phone on the wall, and he needed to make a collect call. And so he knocked on the door, and when nobody answered, he let himself in because he assumed that we wouldn't mind. He was just going to use the phone and leave. Well, my sister and I both looked at each other and were like, that doesn't sound logical at all. If you had to use the phone, you could have called from almost any other house on the block. You didn't need to come to this house and tie the door up. He then started mumbling something about not being quite right in the head, which didn't really make any sense. And then my sister and I both noticed that he wasn't quite all there. His eyes were kind of blank, and he wasn't really making eye contact. He seemed very, very dazed. So my sister and I both decided at that point that we didn't want to press charges because we were pretty sure that this guy wasn't really all there. So he was let off with a warning, and we never did find out who he was or where he came from or why he did what he did. But to this day, it's one of those things that just creeps me out thinking about it. What if he had been, what if he was trying to break into the house? What if he had been watching us? What if he had followed us home? Why did he tie the doorknob to the deck railing? Was he trying to keep the door unlocked from the outside? I don't know. To this day, it's one of those mysteries that I wish I could have an answer to.